Spider-Man Miles Morales, a game that you can play on the PS4, but is made for the PS5. I love the Spider-Man games, and I wanted this to be my first game to play on the PS5, and it did not disappoint. This Spider-Man game follows not Peter Parker, but Miles Morales, the new Spider-Man. In the beginning of the game, it's explained that Miles was bitten by a spider just like Peter and got similar powers. He's been training with Peter for a while and is officially taking over as Spider-Man while Peter goes out of the country on, quote, vacation. Now, this is not the high school Peter Parker or the college Peter like in the previous films. This Peter is all grown up, graduated, and has been protecting the city for quite a few years. Now that Miles is around, he can step back and afford to take a break. If you've played other Spider-Man games, you already know what to expect. It's very similar. You swing through the city, you take out the bad guys. Unfortunately, there is no Bruce Campbell narration in this game, but the visuals make up for that glaring oversight. This New York is stunning. It's bright and filled with reflections and is more alive than ever thanks to the added power of the PS5. City streets are populated with everything you would expect to see in New York, and every single thing you do is fun and addictive. The gameplay is super smooth. Combat is full of acrobatics, and playing Miles as Spider-Man is awesome thanks to the addition of a few surprises along the way. Just like other games, you have your main quest that takes you through the story, but this time it's about Miles, his family, and his relationship with some of the good and bad guys in the city, and of course with him coming to grips with his powers and becoming Spider-Man. His mom is running for office, and his uncle is an outcast thanks to something that happened with him and Miles' dad before he died. Everything comes together in a great story set in the Spider-Verse that I highly recommend you check out, especially if you're a fan. In addition to the main story, there are many side missions to do. Of course, we're going to have add-ons at some point as well. Some revolve around a Spidey app that a friend creates, and it allows anyone in the city to report a crime directly to Spider-Man. Sometimes it's an urgent matter, like a truck hanging off a bridge, and others it's something like a fan that would like to take a selfie with you. The more missions you pass, the more credits you earn, and the more skills and Spidey suits you can unlock. Oh, and they have such awesome Spider-Man suits that have only been seen in the comics till now, but no, I have not seen a Spider-Pig yet. As you traverse the city, you also run into random crimes that you have to stop, upgrades you have to collect, and there are challenges that were left for you by Peter Parker. Everything you do upgrades some aspect of your character, but they have the game laid out so you can't unlock everything. You have to choose what you want more, and if you'd like to see more skills and Spidey suits after you finish the game, you will need to play through it again, which is not a bad thing because I hate it when a good game is over and there is nothing more to experience. Spider-Man Miles Morales definitely will make you want to play the game again and see if you can collect everything. I'm sure they will put out some expansions along the way before we get to the release of the next just announced Marvel's Spider-Man 2 game. They also announced a Marvel Wolverine game, which is gonna be awesome as well. At least I hope. So we have lots to look forward to in the coming months and years. Spider-Man Miles Morales can be played right now on the PS5 though, and you should definitely check it out regardless of what console you have. It does look better on the PS5, but it will still be a fun game on your PS4 as well. Now, I wanted to talk about Spider-Man first because I was so excited to play it, but really there is a game that you must play first when you sit down with the PS5 for the first time. It's Astro's Playroom. It actually comes with the PS5. Sony's Astrobots first hit the scene with the release of the PlayStation 4 back in 2013 in the Playroom. And since then, they've become a PlayStation icon. In 2013, the Astrobots were a cool little augmented reality demo that showed off what the PlayStation camera and new DualShock 4 controller could do. It was fun, and it opened up what was possible. Then we got the PlayStation VR and Playroom VR. Again, we were shown the capabilities with these cute little robots that could be right out of a Mario game or maybe a Disney movie. It was so popular that they created an entire VR game just a couple of years later called Astrobot Rescue Mission. Think Mario, but you are literally in the game playing a big robot head that overlooks each level from above and uses a DualShock 4 controller to help your bot traverse each level. Now with the PS5, we get Astro's Playroom. And again, it's a great little intro to the console and the new DualSense controller that I will admit is way cooler than I thought it was going to be. The two amazing new features are its MultiSense Rumble and its adaptive triggers. The MultiSense Rumble is so cool. You can actually feel the tiniest movements in particular locations on your hands, and it's really something you have to experience for yourself. But it definitely elevates the game. Then the adaptive triggers. Oh man, this is a game changer. The best way I can explain this is, you know when you play a driving simulator in an arcade and the steering wheel kind of fights back at you? That's exactly how the new adaptive triggers feel. They have little motors in them that allow them to change their resistance and literally push back against your trigger fingers. In fact, playing through Astro's Playroom for the first time, your fingers are going to be tired. It's actually a workout. One of the most fascinating levels to show off is one where you use a bow and arrow, and the feel of pulling back and releasing the arrow is incredible. As you pull back the trigger, it gets tougher and tougher till about the halfway mark where it frees up and it lets you pull the trigger all the way back, just like how an actual bow and arrow work. Like I said, it's a game changer and really gives you another layer of immersion. Then when you release the arrow, it kind of pushes out at the same time. It's really, really cool. In addition to showing off the new DualSense controller, Astro's Playroom highlights the 5 parts of the console and really any computer, giving anyone who plays a little technical insight as well. Being a computer geek myself, I truly love the names of the levels. It all starts in the CPU Plaza. From there, you can access Cooling Springs, GPU Jungle, SSD Speedway, and Memory Meadow. This is a family-friendly game as well, so everyone from the very mature to the very young are going to enjoy it. The best part is that Astro's Playroom is free and comes included with the PS5.